Preface. I want to start this book with two confessions. First, I, in the most official of senses, do not know what I am doing. I do not have a license to practice medicine, to prescribe medication, or to provide therapy. I have not earned a PhD studying some dimension of the relationship between mental illness and the Christian faith. I cannot tell you, dear listener, what specifically has gone wrong in your life or in the life of a loved one, a parishioner, or a client that has caused the myriad symptoms that can be categorized as mental illness. I do not offer any of the words in this book to provide a diagnosis or a treatment plan from a qualified professional. Nor am I, by conventional definitions, mentally well. I have been living with depression since my early teens. It's possible it started as early as age 10, which is when I went from a happy kid who loved to dance and joyfully made new friends to the preteen who wrote a poem about her favorite color. Gray is rain pouring down. Something went wrong somewhere in there. We know that by 12, I had effectively self-isolated to the point that I had no friends. By 14, I was on my first selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor, which is the scientific term for antidepressant and anti-anxiety medication that help a brain correctly absorb the positive chemicals it is already producing, but somehow failing to process correctly. I would bounce in and out of therapy and on and off meds for the next 12 years, until I also developed an acute case of social anxiety to the point that I couldn't grocery shop. I had to have my partner buy milk because the idea of driving to the store, getting out of my car, walking inside, and performing the menial tasks of selecting and purchasing groceries caused me to start hyperventilating, even as I told myself over and over, "Nothing is wrong. Nothing is wrong. You are fine." Today, I am on an excellent regimen of 30 milligrams of citalopram, plus regular exercise, natural sunshine, and meditation. Most of the time this works. But I want to note that 30 milligrams is the highest dose of medication I've taken in my 21 years of SSRIs. This book has been less written and more sporadically wrenched from my heart, like it might be via a battlefield surgeon equipped with only a crowbar. It was also written almost entirely in the second half of 2020, a time when the world, the country, and my own family was in as much isolation as our work and grocery needs allowed. So, beloved, if you have come because your life is affected by mental illness, in yourself or in someone you care for, and you hope that over the course of this book, I will be able to draw you a perfectly plotted map of your own easy track to mental health, I am so very sorry. If I had those words, or if I thought anyone else had them, I solemnly promise I would offer them here. If I had the magic words to make a loved one stop drinking, to make the intrusive thoughts leave you, to help your church member or client unlock the bonds of trauma and leap away free, I promise that I would not only write them, but I would also distribute them free of charge in every corner of the world that I could find. At this moment, I do not know if such words exist. In my life and in this book, I will testify that there are people who have found such prayers, or such confessions, or such mantras. Some people have found significant or total liberation from mental illness through the interventions of religious faith alone. But not everyone has found such freedom. What works for one does not consistently or even often work perfectly for another. In truth, what the Church has too long prescribed for mental illness, more diligent prayer, more attendance at worship, more dwelling in Scripture, can actually exacerbate that same mental illness and its symptoms rather than relieve.